So here we have a 120 strut tensegrity. It's basically a sphere, and it's made up of three basic shapes. You have hexagons over here, and pentagons and triangles. For every pentagon, you have 5 triangles surrounding it, and also 5 hexagons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, surrounding it. Otherwise, you could say that for every hexagon, you have 2 pentagons, 1, 2, here's the hexagon, around it, opposite of each other, and you have 4 other hexagons surrounding it. And of course, you have triangles surrounding it. And it's made up of 120 half straws, like this. And for every straw, you have 1 rubber band strapped around it. And that's the basic structure. It's the same thing all around. You will need tape, an X-Acto knife, 120 rubber bands, and 60 paper straws. With your X-Acto knife, first cut the straw in half. Then, with every half straw, cut about 1.5 centimeters into the straw from both sides. Wrap the straw with the rubber band. So that you have something like this, and do it with all the other straws. So first off, I start with making any basic shape, like I can make a pentagon or a hexagon. I'm going to start out with making a pentagon. So I have 1 straw over here, 2 straws, and I basically put this rubber band, one of the rubber bands of this straw, into the slit of my second straw. Put that together, and I do it over and over again to make the pentagon shape. Now, when you're making the first part of this tensegrity, you might feel the straws sort of pulling apart because the rubber bands do make the structure very tense, and the structure tends to rip itself apart. So that's why you need to use tape to stabilize the structure, to make sure that the slits don't fall off the rubber bands. So there you have your basic pentagon shape, right there. And so the next step is to make the hexagons that are surrounding it. You might also want to use tape to stabilize the structure. So now you see I have this pentagon and I have one hexagon so far around it. Now I have to make a couple other more hexagons around it. So now I have two hexagons around the pentagon now to make a couple more. So already you have the base part of the 120 Strut Tensegrity done. It's one pentagon and 5 hexagons surrounding it. Remember that for every shape, every pentagon or hexagon, you have triangles surrounding it. It's a pretty intuitive process. You can feel it as you're making it. Now you have to remember that for every hexagon, you have 2 pentagons that are right opposite of each other. So over here, for every hexagon, for example this one, you have a pentagon here, so you're definitely going to have a pentagon over here. You have one here, over here, over here, over here, and over here. So you have one opposite every pentagon, basically. Taping the structure will help make sure that the structure doesn't sort of pull on itself. So here's our first pentagon over here. If you can see it, here's the pentagon. Here's another pentagon, so it's right opposite of each other across the hexagon. Now we just have to make 5 more of these. And here is our last pentagon for this part. Over here. And there we have it. So for the next part, we're gonna have to make the hexagons. Just fill it all in. So we need to use tape over here because it's pulling at itself. It gets harder to build, a little harder. but tape makes it so much easier. Okay, so here we have a hexagon, and that's a pentagon. So we just need to continue to make a couple more of these. So here we have a hexagon, a pentagon, a hexagon, a pentagon. We have to make another hexagon over here. So we're almost done with the full bottom part of this structure. We still have this pentagon right in the middle. We have 5 hexagons, and then we have interchanging hexagons and pentagons surrounding that. So this finally is the full bottom part of this shape. We're almost halfway done. It's a pretty symmetrical shape, as you can see. We're gonna first make these triangles. So we're going to continue to build upon the structure, making hexagons surrounding this. So you can see I've just been making hexagons all around. And now I'm still making hexagons. I'm going to finish making hexagons until I finish this entire circle. So as you can see, this pentagon is still in the middle. I have 5 hexagons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I have another circle of stuff, of pentagons and hexagons interchanging around it. And then on my outer circle, I just have hexagons all around. It's all hexagons. Now we are halfway done with this structure. Now we're going to continue building until we finish the entire thing. It's going to be the same thing all around. So we're going to continue building upon this part. We're just going to make triangles all around. So here we have one triangle, And we're going to continue making the triangles until we finish this entire circle. Now for the next part, we're gonna have hexagons and pentagons interchanging again because it's symmetrical. We had hexagons and pentagons interchanging for this row over here. Hexagon, pentagon, hexagon, pentagon, and then we had a row of hexagons all around. So now we're gonna continue to make one row of hexagons and pentagons interchanging. For every hexagon, remember, we have two pentagons right opposite of each other. 1, 2, and here's the hexagon. So we know that that has to be a pentagon. And then from there, we know what the pattern is. It's just going to be pentagon, hexagon, pentagon, hexagon, interchanging. So we had a pentagon, a hexagon, a pentagon, a hexagon, a pentagon, and then we have another hexagon over here. So after finishing this pentagon over here, we have a pentagon, a hexagon, a pentagon, and then we need another hexagon over here. So we have pentagon, a hexagon, we need another pentagon over here. Now we have a hexagon over here because we just did pentagon. And now we're pretty much done with this part. We have hexagons and pentagons interchanging all the way through. Now we're going to do the next layer on top. So we're going to make this triangle first. As you can see, there's a pentagon over here, and we know that for every pentagon there are 5 hexagons surrounding it. So we know that there has to be a hexagon right over here. Then we have another hexagon over here. We're gonna make another hexagon over here. And then we're gonna connect this triangle. We're gonna make another hexagon. And as we can see, we're almost done. We just have one little bit left. We're gonna connect this triangle. And all we have left is this last piece over here. I'm gonna connect this. We're gonna connect this. And we're gonna do that. And this one last piece over here. And voila, we're done. We're done making the entire thing. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward. This is the pentagon that we have on top, and on the other side we have this pentagon. This is our first pentagon. It's entirely symmetrical. It's a sphere, and there's a lot of tension in it.